G'day everyone. We are here with another Mile Whoosh points race today. Things are getting serious. You've got the Tissot clock there counting down the time to the start. Let's get into it. We have 8 laps around Parramatta, a 3-ish kilometre loop with points at the finish line each time. There's a bit of a hill every lap. That's the main part on the course. However, the points are decided at the sprint. So it's a bit of a back-to-back combo. 16 times in total for 8 laps, 8 lots of points, and a pretty good field here. So, some of the key riders you've got Jeffrey Milor, who won last week, Chris Dawson of Ireland, Tom Corrigan's there, Tom Berry, Andy Nichols, Janaday from France, Guveris, heaps and heaps of world's riders. You've got a couple of Danish guys and some others. So, up the hill the first lap, and the pace was not as hot as I expected. I thought some people would be confused, thinking that the points might be offered there, but they weren't, and it was a little bit easier than expected. Lap one, I latch on to Dawson and Miller pretty much perfectly. I'm in the draft getting those green numbers, and I timed this one pretty much to perfection, just coming around Dawson, who's a super athlete, and getting the points. So, really good start there. I pick up the 25 points, and I'm still feeling pretty good. Bit of a difference to last week where Jeffrey won every sprint. So a good start. Lap two up the hill, you can see the kind of power we're hitting. Not as hard as I expected again, but obviously this hill was honest every lap, and there was some attempted attacks on here. As we go over the top, here we go into the sprint again. Someone or a couple of guys tried to go early. I'm still kind of watching Malore and Dawson. I'm on the wheel pretty much of Malore here. Dawson's next to me. We're catching up the guys at the front. It's looking like we're probably going to get round this corner in time for a close one. I just hit the lead again at a perfect time and grabbed the point. So super stoked to beat those two guys in two field sprints to start off with and get a nice little buffer. It allows you to have a few slip ups throughout the race. Now I think on this lap maybe I stuff it up. I'm not too sure. Or someone launches early, gets a bit of a jump. There goes Dawson in the Wahoo Cole kit. Well, maybe we're quite patient here and leave it pretty late. Yeah, this one isn't too bad. So coming around, there's not long to go. It's a neck and neck battle, but I think Dawson's Watts have me covered here. I'm not in the draft for some reason, and he accelerates to the win, catches up some of those points. So right now, the race is getting difficult after a few more sprints, and this one was the worst of the race. I nearly stuffed this race up on this sprint really badly. There's a bit happening, people going off the front. I'm probably exposed here, but then I ease off and I get swamped by the whole pack. I could get like seventh or eighth on this one. It's not looking good. I just come around though and have enough power to almost time it quite well, and in the end, I actually get third on that one. Dawson jumped early, and he was very crafty on that one, but he closed up that gap. I was lucky to get third there. That could have easily been seventh or eighth. Was it about this time? I was trying to break up the field a bit because I didn't really want to sprint um, as often, and I sensed there was some weakness coming in the peloton. But what actually happened is my little move was the perfect launching pad for Thomas Berry, who was a little bit further down the field, and he was able to jump off the front here with another rider on his wheel. Perfect move by those guys. They were a bit further down on the points list, and they were given the opportunity to go by myself, Dawson, and Milor, who were the three leaders. Um, Doing the maths, I think I was still okay with this, but I still needed to get top two or three for sure, and a few wins on these sprints out of the bunch. This one, Milor goes early. I was into his wheel pretty well by the time it happened. Still in the draft, luckily. Dawson's coming hard late as well. And I think this one is perfect because I catch Jeffrey on the line, but Dawson doesn't. So I pick up gain 2 points on him there, which is certainly handy at this stage. We close up that gap to the three in front. You can kind of see Andy Nichols just up here but we're cooked from sprinting. There's no way we're catching him here. Straight into the next sprint. We're trying to get this highlights session done quickly. Dawson went early but lulled, and I continued to push. And I think that speed differential was just too much to close. And you can see those guys pushing more watts per kilo here. But I didn't slow down at all at any stage, and they found it hard to come back. So that's another fourth place for me, another 22 points. I extend the lead over Dawson and Malore. The three in the break are catching, but the numbers are still in favour. Dawson tries a big move on the hill this lap. This hurt. I was nearly crying with the amount of effort I had to put in to close this move down. Things were really starting to hurt. I know you haven't seen many of the hills, but they were certainly always honest. He goes again. This is probably the hardest point of the race for me, trying to latch onto this move. He jumped early, and as I said, it's hard to close down a gap once they get a jump on you, but we managed to just do it and head into the next sprint. So second last sprint coming up. You can see the points there. I've got a 5-point lead over Dawson, 15 points over Andy Nichols, which double points finish. It's certainly not over yet. Again, I decided to jump early. I think I saw Dawson go to like 0 watts a kilo, and I thought, yep, let's go. I catch him a little bit off guard again. I think this is a lap rider. He's doing more watts per kilo again, but too late, and I managed to get the points. So once the leaderboard updates here, I've got a 6-point gap over Dawson. And I think at this stage we drop Jeffrey as well. So the pack's just down to Corrigan, myself, and Chris. So running the numbers, and I realise if Jeffrey's dropped, it's impossible for me to lose if I get top 6 here. So less pressure, which was nice going into the finish. Once again, I launched early and caught them off guard. Dawson's coming with a big sprint, but again, the gap must have been hard to close down at those speeds. And I just managed to hold him off in the finish for fourth across the line. That leaps me above Andy and Thomas and the other guy in the breakaway. That was a super smart move by those guys. There's the final results. Andy actually got second coming from that move, and Thomas managed to come for fourth as well. So it was a really interesting race with the way that panned out there late. I was luckily running the numbers in my head and able to control it, but shows the kind of dynamics a points race can have where, you can keep your powder dry early and almost get back for the win if you've got slightly fresher legs. But really enjoyed that one. Less than 2 weeks until the semi-finals for Worlds now. Things are hopefully going pretty well. Hope you enjoyed that one. I know it was a bit rushed, just sprint, 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 sprint. But we'll catch you next time. Cheers.